Point the arrest. The mugshot.
Guilty!
January 2021. Donald Trump leaves the White House in disgrace. His political career? Apparently over. The lawsuits? Piling up. The criminal charges? Coming. Fast forward to January 2025. He's back. In the exact same office. 4 years. 91 criminal charges. 4 indictments. 1 conviction. 0 prison time. And somehow, he won. Again. So here's the question nobody seems to be able to answer. How does a man who was supposed to be politically dead come back stronger than before? Today, we're breaking down the most absurd political comeback in modern history. And trust me, it's even weirder than you think.
Did so well tonight, it's incredible. The fake news is crying, look at them. They said we couldn't do it, but we won. Big league.
Let's rewind. January 6th, 2021. The Capitol riot. Trump's supporters storm the building. Democracy looks shaky. His own party starts distancing themselves. Mitch McConnell, his supposed ally, says Trump is practically and morally responsible for the riot. The Republican establishment, they're done with him. Kevin McCarthy flies to Mar-a-Lago to make peace, but publicly, everyone's writing Trump's political obituary. Even Fox News is hedging their bets. But here's what they all missed. Trump doesn't play by the same rules. The investigations begin. Georgia election interference classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, January 6th, criminal charges. New York business fraud, 4 separate criminal cases, 91 charges. Legal experts call it unprecedented. Prosecutors are confident, surely this is the end, right? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. In August 2023, Trump becomes the first former president to have a mugshot. Does he look ashamed, defeated? No. He looks like he's posing for a movie poster. And within 24 hours, his campaign sells merchandise with the mugshot on it. T-shirts, mugs, coffee cups. His fundraising, it explodes. $7 million in 3 days. The man turned his arrest into a marketing campaign. The chaos strategy.
We will make America great again.
So how does someone facing 91 criminal charges convince millions of Americans to vote for him again? Simple. He doesn't run away from the chaos. He runs toward it. Strategy number 1. Turn every prosecution into persecution. Trump doesn't deny the charges. He doesn't play defense. Instead, he reframes the entire narrative.
They're not after me, they're after you. I'm being persecuted because I'm fighting for you.
And it works. Every indictment becomes proof he's the victim. Every trial, political theater, every prosecutor, part of the deep state conspiracy. Here's the insane part. His poll numbers go up after every indictment. Indicted in March, polls jump 5 points. Indicted in June, another boost. Mugshot in August, money floods in. The legal system isn't destroying him, it's fundraising for him. Strategy number 2. Dominate the media cycle. Trump says something outrageous. The media freaks out. CNN, MSNBC, even Fox, everyone's talking about him. His opponents barely get airtime. Ron DeSantis tries to challenge him. Nikki Haley gives it a shot. But nobody can compete with Trump's ability to suck all the oxygen out of the room. You think DeSantis had a chance? The guy's political charisma is like watching paint dry. Trump calls him Ron DeSanctimonious. Game over. Strategy number 3. The Republican Party becomes the Trump Party. Remember all those Republicans who condemned him after January 6th? Watch what happens. Lindsey Graham. I'm done. 6 months later, Trump is the future. Kevin McCarthy. He bears responsibility. Then, flies to Mar-a-Lago for a photo op. Ted Cruz. He's a pathological liar. Later, Trump 2024. One by one, they all bend the knee. Why? Because Trump controls the Republican base. And if you cross him, you lose your primary. Simple as that. 2/3 of Republican voters believe Trump's narrative. The establishment? Irrelevant. The trial that was supposed to change everything, but didn't. May 2024, Manhattan. The hush money trial. Trump is accused of falsifying business records to cover up payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The prosecution's case is solid. The evidence, pretty damning. June 2024. The verdict comes in. Guilty on all 34 counts. Donald Trump becomes the first former US president ever convicted of a crime. Historic, unprecedented. Surely this destroys his campaign, right?
This is a turning point for the administration. For the first time in decades, Article 4 has been invoked, leading to immediate market suspensions.
Wrong. His poll numbers barely move. In some states, they actually increase. How is this possible? Because by this point, his supporters don't care. They've already decided either the charges are fake, or the system is rigged, or both. Trump's base isn't voting for a saint. They never were. They're voting for someone who fights, someone who pisses off the establishment, someone who doesn't apologize. And Trump? He walks out of that courtroom and immediately holds a rally. No shame, no remorse, just defiance. They convicted me because they're terrified of us. And the crowd goes wild. Meanwhile, the other 3 criminal cases, they fall apart. Georgia case, delayed because of prosecutorial misconduct. Mar-a-Lago documents case, dismissed on technical grounds. January 6th case, stalled by Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. So the one case that actually convicts him? A misdemeanor elevated to a felony over hush money payments. Not election interference, not classified documents, not inciting an insurrection. Hush money to a porn star, and nobody cares. The win again. November 5th, 2024, election night. The polls are close. The pundits say it could go either way. Democrats are confident. Kamala Harris has momentum. And then, Trump wins. He doesn't just win. He sweeps the swing states. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. 312 electoral votes. A landslide. How did this happen? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Trump didn't win because Americans forgot about January 6th, or the indictments, or the chaos. He won because of them. His voters see him as the ultimate outsider, the guy who fights the system, who doesn't care about being politically correct, who says what everyone's thinking. The Democrats? They ran on saving democracy, and Trump is a threat. Turns out, voters cared more about inflation, immigration, and feeling like the elites don't give a damn about them. Trump spoke their language. Harris? She sounded like a corporate HR seminar. Grocery prices up 25%, gas prices through the roof, the border a mess, and Democrats kept saying, "But Trump is bad for democracy," to which voters replied, "I can't afford groceries. Fix that first."
Economic anxiety beats fear of authoritarianism. Every single time.
Cynical lessons. January 20th, 2025. Trump is back in the White House. So what did we just witness? The most absurd political comeback in modern history, or something darker? Here are the 3 lessons from Trump. Lesson 1. Accountability doesn't matter if your base doesn't care. Trump proved you can be indicted, convicted, impeached twice, and still win. Why? Because his supporters see him as a martyr, not a criminal. The legal system couldn't touch him because his voters decided the legal system itself was the problem. Lesson 2. Chaos is a feature, not a bug. Most politicians try to avoid controversy. Trump weaponizes it. Every scandal makes him more famous. Every attack makes him more defiant. He doesn't win despite the chaos. He wins because of it. Lesson 3. The establishment is weaker than we thought. For decades, we assumed political norms, institutions, and the rule of law would hold. Trump proved they're optional. He rewrote the rules, and the system just adapted.
We are going to make our country stronger than ever before. We will not back down, and we will win.
So what happens next? Trump has 4 more years. No re-election to worry about. A conservative Supreme Court. A Republican Congress. He's unshackled, unpredictable, and completely unaccountable. The man who was supposed to be finished in 2021, he's now more powerful than ever. And the craziest part? He did it all by just being himself. So there you have it. Trump, 4 years of investigations, 91 charges, 1 conviction, 0 consequences. And somehow, against all odds, logic, and legal precedent, he's back. Whether you love him, hate him, or just can't look away, one thing's clear. Donald Trump is the most resilient, shameless, and effective political survivor of our time. And that's not an endorsement, that's just a fact. If you want more stories about how the world makes absolutely no sense, hit that subscribe button.
Next time, we're diving into how TikTok became a national security threat.
Yes, really.
Until then, stay informed, stay cynical, and remember,